ZBC exposes Tagwirei'S hypocrisy and propaganda on the Rufaro Stadium rally. We have seen pictures ZBC, and those pictures, you'd be surprised with ZBC was just targeting most of the area of the stadium. Yanga is Navan, right? Takaona rally ya Tagwirei yakachibudiswa nevarakashi a lot. Vachiti vakazara zvikazodii zvikadii, but vaibuditsa ma-areas akanga ane vanhu vakawanda, but yet 3/4 of the stadium was actually empty. So it's really very, very amazing kuti if you look at the way ZBC usually reports on Tagwirei, hainyanyi kuva extensive on Tagwirei, meaning kuti pane some people that have control pa ZBC vasiri happy about this guy, but are we surprised? Atisi, we are not surprised at all. Kulabantu abaningi abangamthandiyo Tagwirei, and kutshengisa ukuthi laba bangani bacontroller iZBC kulabantu abangamthandiyo, ngoba lingakhangela ama reports eZBC on Tagwirei, they are not like go side yakhe as much as other, other indicating propagandists can do. So it's actually interesting kuti more and more is propaganda and lies of ZANU-PF and Shigananda is getting exposed. So a lot of people are really commenting on this issue, like a report that I saw, which was actually highlighting quite a lot of what is happening or what has happened there at the Rufaro Stadium. So a long report that I saw here from Takabata says Rufaro Stadium is a revolutionary space. No amount of stolen wealth, staged rallies, or hired praise singers can turn it into a shrine for a man like Kudakwashe Tagwirei. Right now, as he tries to turn Rufaro into his personal campaign tent, the stadium is answering him in the oldest language of politics: silence and empty seats. The sound system is loud, the branding is heavy, the machinery of propaganda is visible, but the people are not coming in the numbers he dreamt of. The terraces that once shook with the roar of a nation being born are patchy, hesitant, and convinced. This ground remembers better days. At midnight on April 18, 1980, this is where the Union Jack was lowered and the Zimbabwean flag was raised for the first time, marking the official birth of independent Zimbabwe. The world watched. Our parents and grandparents celebrated. The songs that filled this air were freedom songs, not jingles for businessmen chasing power. Since then, Rufaro has hosted independence celebration, legendary football matches, and Bob Marley singing Zimbabwe live to honor a people who had just broken the chains of white minority to rule. This is sacred political soil. You do not just arrive here with your convoy and your corruption allegations and expect the spirit of the place to kneel. Tagwirei comes into his history carrying a different story. He is not the face of sacrifice. He is the face of corruption and illicit deals, accused of using his proximity to power and opaque state contracts to enrich himself while Zimbabweans suffer. His name has become shorthand for how the revolution has been hijacked by billionaires in suits. Today, he is trying to do something money has never done very well in Zimbabwe: buy authenticity. Look closely at Rufaro as this rally unfolds. The bunting is up. The stage is dressed. The party colors are everywhere. Speeches talk about patriotism, sovereignty, liberation, sanctions. Yet the very man at the center of this event represents the opposite of what Rufaro once stood for. The stadium used to symbolize power returning to the people. He symbolizes power extracted from the people. And the power seem to feel that. They are not storming the gates. They are not packing the stands the way they did when the flag first rose here, and when Dynamos played a title decider, or when independence anniversaries meant something real in their pockets and their homes. Instead, the cameras will have to work hard, framing tight, avoiding the gaps, cutting around the empty concrete, so the rally can be spun as a success. that failure to fill Rufaro is more than a logistical embarrassment. It is a spiritual verdict, because this is what Tagwirei and those like him are really trying to do. They are trying to insert themselves into the revolutionary memory of Zimbabwe. They want to stand on the same ground where the flag was born, and pretend that history flows naturally from the guerrilla fighters of the 1970s to the tenderpreneurs of today. They want Rufaro's legacy to baptize them. They wash away the stench of command agriculture scandals, dodgy mines, and sanctions list, and replace it with the smell of gunpowder and struggle songs. But the chemistry is wrong. The crowd can feel it. The stadium can feel it. Zimbabwe can feel it. There is a quiet refusal taking place in those empty spaces on the terraces, a refusal to reward arrogance, a refusal to clap for someone who has turned public contracts into private mansions and offshore accounts while hospitals crumble and young people queue at embassies for visas, a refusal to accept that the revolution now belongs to whoever has the fattest wallet and the best access to the State House gate. Rufaro is pushing back. By not feeling for Tagwirei, the stadium is reminding everyone that certain places in our history carry their own judgment, right? So quite interesting. And how also we have seen ZANU-PF propaganda trying by all means to, especially the Varakashi who are supporting these guys, trying by all means to, paint a picture of success. And yet, Saka Tagwirei is having a mountain to climb as much as they think. Gananda should try by all means, but effort is going down because Zimbabwean people are aware of who these people are. Tinoziva seabazi abantu laba amaZimbabweans bayakwazi ukuthi abantu abathiwa izgananda ngobani and benzani and ba-representani. So nobody is going to be cheated. They will try to use the courts to twist up the constitution and what, but as long as there is rejection from the masses of Zimbabwe, they are not going to succeed. You might play around with the papers and go and arm twist the courts and think that you get away with it. But as long as the masses of Zimbabwe are not in agreement, there's nothing that is going to succeed. Saka amen. Parikunakidza kumagumo kune nyaya. Isusu chatiri kutaura chete ndechekuti hatirambe takatarisa. Let's keep watching and let's keep praying. Tione kuti zvinonoguma nekupi. But chatinoziva ndechekuti kuchamhanywa zviri legendary pamberi patiri kusvika. And the time is now. The time is not very far.